Yo, what is happening, fan base, and welcome back to an episode of Honest Descriptions. I am so glad to say Pokemon Gen 8 is upon us. If you don't know what an honest description is, well, the honest word is definitely in quotation marks, as I will be having a lot of fun with what we know so far about Pokemon Gen 8, Pokemon Sword, and Pokemon Shield. Now, they've obviously run out of colors, gems, astronomy, and letters at this point because we have no theme anymore for what we're naming the games, which is just really exciting to me. I can already guarantee Gen 9 will be Pokemon Be Gone and Pokemon Thought because nothing is off the table at this point, and I hope they don't do another one of those Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon things. Give us a third game like we used to. I think it would be dope to get a Pokemon Gun as a sequel to Pokemon Sword and Shield, but hey, that's just my personal opinion. As for selecting Sword and Shield, I think it's a genius move thus far. Aside from the fact that Aegislash is potentially the single most popular Pokemon of all time, and everyone's so happy to have games based off him, it's exciting because now we will finally understand what percentage of Pokemon fans are also anime fans. For those of you who do not know, there's an anime, The Rising of the Shield Hero, that's airing right now as the Pokemon Gen 8 news was released. The beauty of Rising of the Shield Hero is there are several heroes summoned from an alternate world to defeat the demons and stuff, and the main character is the Shield Hero. Off the bat, everyone's making fun of him because, guys, you have one guy with a bow, one guy with a lance, one guy with a sword, 3 epic weapons, and a guy with a shield? Come on! But then it turns out Shield Hero is the main character and stuff happens. Go watch the anime. I personally like it. I think it's pretty good. Not the point. The point is, anyone who picks Pokemon Shield over Pokemon Sword obviously watched this anime because, as they say in the actual show, swords are way cooler. I mean, this is basically the hand-to-hand version of Pokemon Bunker and Pokemon Nuclear Bomb. Yo, what is happening? What is happening?
Holy fucking shit!
If you take Pokemon Bunker, you're a pussy. No, I'm not trying to alienate half my audience. That was not the goal at all. But in any case, aside from the brilliant naming scheme, we got to see the region. It's very exciting to see that there's so many routes you could take. And I'm sure you're gonna start in the center of this region, not at the very bottom working your way to the top of the map. I totally doubt that's how it's going to go. It's gonna be an open world where you have infinite choices. It's not gonna be one path straight down. What is this, black and white? But in any case, let's get into the starter Pokemon, which is the real nitty-gritty of what I honestly wanted to describe. So, now before discussing the starters on an individual level, I figured it would be worthwhile discussing them as a whole. Like, more or less, what my honest take on them is. Well, I think that if we're looking for a reboot of Powerpuff Girls, we definitely found prime contenders.
Give me your faith.
This is why I'm very excited for the crossover of Gen 8, where at last Pokemon embraces the Powerpuff Girl side. Oh, you think I'm blowing things out of context? Well, if you look at Scorbunny with his red ears popping out in a very similar way to Blossom, the Powerpuff Girl's bow thingy, looks basically the same. If you look at Sobble and compare Sobble to Bubbles, the Powerpuff Girl, that line between Sobble's eyes looks exactly like Bubbles' hair that's covering Bubbles' eyes, not to mention his yellow fin and Bubbles' yellow hair right above that hairline thingy. And if you look at Grookey, he has those weird wood ear things coming out at the side of his face in exactly the same shape as Buttercup's hairdo. Coincidence? I think not. Especially because Blossom's red, just like Scorbunny, Bubbles is blue with yellow hair, just like Sobble, and Grookey is green with the same hairdo as Buttercup. Leave a like and subscribe. On to the starters on an individual level. First, we have Grookey, the grass-type Pokemon, a grass monkey. Totally not similar to Simisage or Pansage whatsoever. Because, as you can tell, they're different species of monkeys. Even though they're both grass monkeys, it's a totally different thing. Mostly because Simisage sucks. Just like no one gave a crap about Pansear when he came out. Aside from a method of cooking, hey, it's a fire monkey. Chimchar's a fire monkey, but we didn't care because Pansear sucks. And Pansage looks high on meth. Still better than Simisage. me poor. God damn, I don't want in his cult. But back to Grookey, a grass monkey. I think I finally deciphered what types he's gonna be in the end of the day. Well, clearly grass type. That's not much of a hot take. But I'm personally really excited because, as you can see, Grookey, the grass monkey, is a compound of two words. The ookie at the end, I'm pretty sure, may have to do with monkey, being that it is a monkey. But I'm pretty sure the Gru in the beginning is supposed to be representing Gru from Despicable Me, one of the greatest characters in all of Pokemon, which means he will pronounce his name Grookey, which definitely lends its diversity to the Pokemon world. So as I was saying, I'm pretty sure Grookey will be able to use and be grass ice type. That is my guess. I think it would be very cool. And also when it's showing us what all the Pokemon can do in the trailer, I also really became all emotional when I saw Scorbunny running super fast, leaving flames from where his feet were standing. We had Sobble sobbling out of a pond. He put out the flames. He's crawling up a tree. Cool stuff. And you have Grookey, who's showing off his intellectual prowess by taking a stick and hitting a rock with the stick. I appreciate you hitting that rock with the stick. I'm sure the stick deserved it, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with your character. Next, we have Scorbunny, and I'm glad Scorbunny isn't a mouthful to say. Comes out sounding fully natural, just like a starter Pokemon's name should. Well, from the trailer itself, I immediately like his personality. I also think it's ingenious that this bunny has a band-aid on its nose. I think that's really cute. Pretty creepy to think that the band-aid is inherently part of the actual Pokemon that will probably evolve into a bigger band-aid. But hey, it's a cool design gimmick. I'm down. Besides, it leaves us with an interesting option. I mean, we do see that this bunny is very athletic. We also see that it's boastful and joyful and happy. Honestly, I think, and I know you're not going to believe this because it's never happened before, but we're going to be getting a firefighting starter type Pokemon. When have we had a firefighting type starter Pokemon before? I mean, please again, it's never happened. I think it would be a cool twist. Opens up just a whole new world of options. Besides, as far as bunnies in Pokemon, we do have a pretty epic track record for some dope hentai. Am I right, Lop Bunny? Thank you. Very cool. And I'm sure no one will be looting the— oh, too late. There are already lewds of it. God damn it, internet. This is one of those times I'm pretty sure lewds came out before the Pokemon was actually released. That's just how fast and advanced we are. Our epic looters on the internet, well, they've already looted every potential future possible design. That's how epic and badass they are. Well, bet they wouldn't have seen a firefighting type coming, so I think we're still safe for the most part. Now, as for this scorching bunny's name dissection, again, just like Grookey, I think that they're throwing in a little hint here. I think that A, they're trying to avoid the furry porn, and B, they're trying to delude you into thinking it's gonna be a fighting type. When in actuality, Scorbunny stands for Scorpion Bunny, not Scorch Bunny. There's no reason to think Scorch. Scorch is such a random word to apply to fire-type Pokemon. And I think the final evolution of Scorpion Bunny is gonna be so damn epic. The first Poison-type starter, and please do not link it in the comments, I don't think there's Scorpion hentai. What am I talking about? Of course there's Scorpion hentai. But in any case, there's less Scorpion hentai than there is furry stuff, and I guess I should kind of be grateful for that. And finally, we have Sobble. So, right off the bat, it's obviously that the obble at the end of Sobble stands for wobble, because this little bugger is wobbling out of the water. It wobbles when it walks, so wobbles up the tree. This is one wobbling Sobble. I think that's pretty clear. But as for my analysis of what makes that S sound in the beginning, a lot of people are pointing me towards the idea that it's a wobbling salamander, being that salamanders are lizard-like, even though they are not reptilian, but they are amphibian, both with the ability to live in water and land, just like we see Sobble in the water as well as on land. A very thought-out point, but I don't think it has to do with the salamander wobble at all. To analyze this name carefully, I think we should look into the lore of Pokemon itself, and I think that the obble does stand for wobble, but the S in the beginning stands for socially awkward mudkip. Yes, I think this is a wobbling, socially awkward mudkip, ladies and gentlemen, because even those who believe that Sobble is a wobbling salamander, they realize that mudkip, which is based off an axolotl, is pretty much a first cousin to salamanders. There's no way Game Freak would ever make two starter Pokemon so similar to one another, basically both being pretty much the same genus of amphibian. That would be quite the letdown. Just like they would never make a fourth firefighting Pokemon as a starter. It's just not something they do. I mean, Chimchar and Grookey are both monkeys. In fact, they're both chimps. But that's okay, because at least they're different types of Pokemon. We're never gonna get two underwater amphibians as the starters, unless Game Freak is trying to appeal to a wider audience. Unless they're opening their hearts to everyone. Look at this Sobble's face. It is not a happy creature. It doesn't like being around others. Mudkip was a massive meme. Mudkips were everywhere. I remember the Mudkip memes before memes were even a thing. And can I tell you that the Mudkip memes make the Do You Know the Way memes look like science?
Mudkip, the mudfish Pokemon. Mudkip uses the sensitive radar receptors on its head fin to determine what's going on around it. In a pinch, it can brandish enough power to crush rocks.
So, I heard you like mudkips.
Really, nigga?
The Mudkip memes were just posting pictures of Mudkip everywhere. And they didn't even make sense. At least the Do You Know the Way meme could be incorporated into other stuff. Honestly, I would take the Will Smith Genie meme above the Mudkip memes. That's how procreative they were. They were goddamn everywhere. Why am I mentioning this? Because Mudkip is one of the most social Pokemon. Memes are the epitome of social lives for internet dwellers, such as myself. The secret representation of the Mudkip memes is the social aspect of the Pokemon community, which are secretly losers. But I would never say that out loud on video. Whereas Sobble's the opposite. Sobble's for those who aren't social. Sobble is a wobbling, socially awkward Mudkip. Because goddamn it, it's the same thing as Mudkip, it's just less happy. Which is why I love it. Not that I love things that aren't happy, but goddamn, it's the cutest freaking thing ever. And it speaks to us, the not socially awkward members of society. The ones hidden behind a screen, talking to people we don't know and will never know. Leave a like if you cried. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the honesty exhibited in this video. But now for some honesty without quotation marks, which is one of the reasons why I actually wanted to do this. My overall thoughts. I am super excited for every freaking aspect of this game. I am more excited for this game than I have been for the last several. God damn it, the region looks amazing. The graphics look incredible. And the starter Pokemon? I know that this may not be a public opinion, but I don't give a damn. They are my favorite set of starters already since Gen 4. I like all three of them. Personally, I would probably start with Scorbunny, as I believe it to be my favorite of the three thus far, but I genuinely like all of them. Also, fire types are never easy to capture in games. Always worth starting with a fire type, especially because it's probably also going to be fighting type. Yay! I'm really excited. I'm so happy the game's coming out this year. Definitely subscribe for future Pokemon videos, as they are bound to come. In fact, an honest description of every legendary Pokemon ever is coming soon. It is currently in the editing stage, and goddamn am I happy with how that one came out. Yeah, but in any case, I did not want this to be a super long video. Just wanted to let out my overall thoughts on the situation in a honest way, of course. Feel free to check out my other honest descriptions. I just did an honest description on every generation of Pokemon, and it's probably one of my proudest honest descriptions I've ever made. And I've also recently done an analysis video on Paul, my favorite rival in all of Pokemon. Feel free to check that out as well. Whammin' and gentlewomen, have yourselves a most wonderful evening. Pokemon Sword and Shield looking hype. The starters looking great. And the hentai, well, goddamn, it makes me so proud of our community.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
And with all that said and done, remember to stay weird, fam.